My name is Jabez LeBret. I'm here with Sisu Academy, and today's challenge is for us to be bold. It's time to start taking some unique approaches to solving some of the educational gaps for underserved youth in particular. Right now, what we're not seeing in a system is opportunities for things to actually address the full breadths of problems. First, I'd like to start off by acknowledging future hair model and our only son, Adler Oliver LeBret, 12 months old, has really given us a new perspective on what this whole educational process means. I'm originally from Alaska. No, I cannot see Russia from my house. I am from this tiny little fishing village, and this is a picture of me at almost 3 years old. The woman who I'm lying on top of right there is my mother, who is a paranoid schizophrenic, and this was her going back to the hospital again. This tumultuous growth pattern in my life, at home, impacted me day over and day over, week in, week in, out. You think I was ready for Algebra 2 at 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday? I ended up homeless when I was 16, didn't graduate from high school, but through the grace of having friends and family who stepped up to really step in and make sure that I didn't fall all the way off the cliff, I eventually went back, got my GED. I attended Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington, studied marketing and finance, went on to work at Nordstrom where I managed a $33 million P&L, started my own company that was a marketing agency, won many awards with our organization, but just wasn't quite feeling fulfilled enough. Wasn't quite getting that passion driven that we needed. So we started thinking about education and really wanted to make a jump to get into actually help the students like me who were dealing with life in the background, and that was struggling and making it impossible for them to actually participate in the classroom. I started thinking about the innovator's dilemma in incremental growth versus innovative change. This mobile device was innovative. This is what incremental growth looks like. This happens from conditioning and association, which is a really powerful thing in psychology. And if you'll humor me for a second, I want to do a quick little exercise to show you how this works. We're going to say the word white out loud 5 times. I'm going to ask you a question. I need you to answer that question as fast as you possibly can. All right? You guys ready? We're going to say the word white out loud 5 times. Ready? White, 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 white. What do cows drink? Water. Cows drink water. In less than 5 seconds, with this silly little example, I was able to condition you to give me a response that I knew was wrong. What does over 100 years of conditioning and education do? What blind spots do we have that we don't realize that we have? So we said, what if we could build an innovative school that paid for itself and solved and addressed these problems? Some of the problems that we have here in San Diego, 54% of our 41,000 students who are not working and not in school are female. That leads to human trafficking, drugs and alcohol, abuse, homelessness. That's the path forward for many of these students. The system's not solving the problem for the 51% of students that are living in poverty, and 46% of nonprofits say they struggle with raising capital and having enough money to implement these programs. So our solution is simple. We're building a tuition-free boarding school that will provide all the wraparound services that we need, an open-walled education, skills ready, we say college ready, win ready, career is okay too. We teach STEAM, but we also teach the social and emotional learning, the heart and the mind aspect of it. And then on campus, we build an accelerator that is going to provide for us the access to capital that we need to be able to remain tuition-free in perpetuity. We burn the boats in the harbor. I sold my company. My wife left her job over 2 years ago. We've been in this full time. We've recruited a team. We found some amazing educators to jump on board to come help us build this thing together. And we are creating Sisu Academy. Sisu Academy will be the first self-funding tuition-free boarding school in the country. We are not a charter school. We are an independent school. Not because we don't believe in the importance of academic rigor, but because we want to build something new that is completely out of the system. It's got an entrepreneurship program, open-walled education, farming, getting your hands dirty and learning how to work with the earth. Those are all good things to have, a strong social-emotional learning program and support. This is the bioluminescence that occurred at the beach. Lasts for about 2 nights. The kids should be getting out of their beds at 2 in the morning and going and watching this and experiencing it with a science teacher, not looking at an iPad the next morning to watch the video. We need to have students learning how to work in maker labs and how to learn to build things again. Robotics and programming should be a mandatory course these days, just like math, science, history, and English are important. Making sure that we're in touch with the earth and that we have a safe and stable place to be, to grow, and to learn. But we got to pay for this somehow. Entrepreneurship is not the only way to give students the skills that they need to be able to actually truly be ready for the workforce of today, not the workforce of tomorrow, the workforce for right now. We aren't producing graduates that are ready today. Entrepreneurship is one mechanism. At our school, the students aren't the full-time entrepreneurs because they're full-time students. So they get to watch entrepreneurship as it happens. The way that this works is that the school comes up with their own ideation, a lot of ed tech solutions that we are incubating inside our accelerator. The students also have an option to come up with some ideas and ideate with business advisors. Those are turned over to a group of advisors who determine which businesses pass viability and which ones don't. Those are then kicked into an accelerator that is managed by professionals, operations people, marketing people, salespeople, programmers, engineers, who build, grow, and scale these organizations, which we either close down because they don't work, which is okay, because that happens in business, keep the organization and retain it, or sell it. We're not trying to launch the next biggest, latest, greatest app. We are simply trying to cover our annual operating budget through our own earned revenue. This completely redefines how we fund education, and it gives the students access and opportunity to an entrepreneurship experience they can't get anywhere else. A safe environment that they need, an education that's going to prepare them for tomorrow, and a community that maybe they never had before. These are the components that are going to take us to the next level, but it's going to require some heavy lifting. We need partners. We need people that have programs. We don't want to reinvent all of the wheels all of the time. We need people like you in this room to help us spread the word, to help other people understand what's possible, and to push the envelope a little bit beyond where it is today. So through all of these endeavors, together we're going to build something new and exciting for these kids. My name is Jabez LeBret. Thank you very much for your time.